and his online persona. Michael Barbaro is the host of The Daily, and he's also a journalist for the New York Times. His online presence is actually a lot smaller than you would expect. He mainly is focused on just promoting The Daily, and his Twitter feed is about the only online presence that you're going to find. His Instagram is private, and he doesn't have a LinkedIn profile. One of the things I found most interesting about Twitter is that we mainly talk about the content in the class, the content that we produce. But I found there to be a lot of power in the repost, which is a lot of what Michael Barbaro's tweets are, is just reposting. And I found that to be just as important as a part of his brand as his own original content is. It's what he chooses to support and the ideas that he chooses to share. His visual image is also very important. He has created a style for himself that is eclectic, distinct, and unique. Mainly his facial hair and his glasses are a lot of what people tend to see. Professionally, he has a lot of high visibility of relationships. He has worked with politicians like Donald Trump, and his personal life has also been kept fairly low-key. The only thing I could find online was a news article about him splitting with his husband and now dating one of his producers. On television, he really only talks. He does a few talk shows, and he also did a PBS advertisement about The Daily, which is what most of his online presence is for. His audience is generally more liberal people who are already interested in politics and news. They're the people who are listening to The Daily or following him because they know of his affiliation with the New York Times. He generally posts when people are going to be on Twitter, and his podcasts air at 6 a.m. so people can listen to it on their way to work. According to Pullman, he does a good job of being brief, has lots of clarity, and the way that people can access his information is very usable. In my opinion, Michael Barbaro has a strong online presence for as little platforms as he uses. His podcast is highly influential, especially having the backing of the New York Times. His Twitter feed is where most people are going to get to know Michael Barbaro. It's where he posts his opinions, it's where he reposts, and it's also where he publicly calls people out or has conversations with them. I believe that Barbaro is a good example of ways that you can communicate professionally in that certain business. As a reporter and as an opinionated reporter, that's what people expect out of him, and that's where his credibility and his ethos comes from. He has his background as a journalist, and he's created his online persona, and together the two of them work for him to be the online Michael Barbaro.